about. Otherwise, they wouldn't be buying it in their droves.
Fast food sells more than any other kind of food, but it's not necessarily nutritious. That's the
40s, 50s, you know, beautiful tailoring and shirts and that kind of stuff. And, you know, Sinatra was the king of that. You know, he had all these rules about dressing. You know, your shirt had to kind of extend for, like, you know, 1 inch or half an inch. You know,
your cuffs.
Your cuffs, yeah.
And,
Phil?
you know,
okay, I'm working.
He's trying hard.
You know, but I mean, not just clothes, but also drinks. You know, champagne was a chick's drink. You know, you didn't drink champagne and all that kind of stuff. And
they were martini men, though, weren't they?
They were martini men, and the Soderbergh film captures that spirit. I mean, obviously, it's not really a remake. You know, it's much better than the original film. I mean, you know, your short film kind of highlighted the fact that the original film was, you know, a vanity project, a bit of a mess. But what he's done in this amazingly slick kind of heist movie, caper movie, is he's captured that spirit of glamour and elegance and kind of Vegas style, and it's a kind of loungy thing. I mean, the Soderbergh version is more kind of 70s lounge than kind of 60s Rat Pack.
Right. If you want to be glamorously elegant these days, though, what do you do? First of all, you've got to get a lot of money.
It's not actually about money, it's more about attitude. I mean, you know, for example, there are a lot of places now that aren't really kind of pubs, they're bars. You know, you can go and drink in a bar. You don't have to be very rich to go and drink in a bar. You drink cocktails instead of, you know, pints.
But you can't wear blue jeans and a grunge shirt to be a...
No, it's not grungy, but I mean, there are an awful lot of great sort of high street places that are doing nice tailoring. So it's not that you have to go and spend £1,000 on a suit, you know, it's not that simple.
It's an attitude, though, isn't it? I mean, they were roguish and sophisticated and celebrities.
Well, you use the word sophistication, and you know, shameless plug for my magazine, Esquire. But I mean, that's
don't go there.
But that's kind of, you know, what we're trying to do is a return to wit and sophistication. You know, banter. You know, people who've got kind of ideas and some intelligence about them, rather than, you know, you were saying the kind of grungy lad thing, which is very outdated now, I think.
So never drink lager.
Never drink too much lager.
Well, never drink a pint. You've got to drink lager in halves, I suppose. Do something like that. Maybe put a
couple of olives in
the top.
Try a martini instead, yeah.
Oh yes, I think we shall. And on that note,
no more than two.
No more than two before dinner. But after dinner, I suppose you can have as many as you like. Thank you very much for coming in this morning.
Thank you. Let's get some stylish weather now from certainly stylish surroundings from stylish Sarah.
Oh, thank you very much, Bill. You're very kind. Yes, it's gorgeous here. Bore Da from North Wales. We're in Snowdonia. Behind me, the Ogwen Valley. Now that funnels moist westerly winds up into this area. It's renowned for being very wet. Well over 1.5 meters of rainfall falls every single year. Now, it was drizzling early this morning, but it's brightened up nicely. That cloud is breaking up. We're likely to see the low cloud across North Wales, Northern England, Southern Scotland and Northern Ireland breaking up as we head through the rest of today, so that by this afternoon, most places will be dry with plenty of sunshine. So it's looking good. Perhaps the exception up towards the west of Scotland, where there'll be more cloud. Eventually, there'll be some rain too, as the southwesterly winds increase. Now, temperatures today will reach 7 degrees in northern areas and around about 10 degrees in the south. That's about average for this time of the year. So tonight we're likely to see more cloud across Scotland and Northern Ireland. It's going to be windy too, with some rain for western Scotland as well. But for England and Wales, well, a dry night, some patchy fog and indeed a frost. Temperatures tonight will drop here as low as -1 or -2. But tomorrow, any fog will clear away, so Saturday's looking good. Loads of sunshine for most of us, but again, more cloud for Scotland and Northern Ireland with some rain in the northwest. And during Sunday, we're likely to see that wet weather crossing Scotland and eventually moving into Northern England. That's it from me, from Capel Curig. Have a great day.
Probably
Thank you.
Just as well, because it's beginning to look a bit grey behind Sarah there, isn't it?
Get in fast.
It looks lovely.
It does. Thank
Thanks,
you very much, Sarah, for this morning. Now let's get the news, weather and travel where you are.
Thank you. A rare piece of Victorian architecture could hold up plans for the £400 million East London Line tube extension. English Heritage says the arch in Shoreditch, lying in the path of the proposed line, must be protected. More than 70 people had to spend last night away from their homes after a fire at a carpet warehouse in southeast London. 10 fire engines were sent to the fire in South Bermondsey, which is now out. There were no injuries and residents are back in their homes. Plans to change the route of this year's Notting Hill Carnival have been unveiled. The proposed route is wider than the existing one and is aimed at helping improve safety for the 1 million or so people who attend every year. And London's theatre stars are preparing their speeches for the prestigious Laurence Olivier Awards being held this lunchtime. The hot favourite, Kiss Me Kate, has nominations in 9 categories, closely followed by My Fair Lady with 8. Travel news now, and off our cameras, Rotherhithe New Road is closed in South Bermondsey because of that fire overnight. It's still pretty busy for traffic coming off the Westway onto the A501 flyover towards central London. And on public transport, wagon and GNER services are disrupted in and out of King's Cross, and on the Underground there are delays on the Bakerloo line.
I don't want the person, whoever it is, who knows who it is, to stand up. I want everybody else who thinks that applies to them to stand up. Oh, yeah, come on, men, oh, and women, come on, men, I'm serious,
yeah, no,
I don't want you, only the men or the women who think that so far what it's been said applies. Well, look at that then. You can't have, you've got a dozen or more, you're joking, but they think it's them. Of course.
No, I don't think it's me.
But
I think some of it could be me.
If it had been, you would have been happy to have stood up and said that could be.
on purpose.
No,
I think for the purposes of it.
Not at all. No, I am not.
I wouldn't. If as an astrologer, I could have stood up for all of that.
Of course, if you're as an astrologer, you can predict what's going to happen. Perhaps you could tell us what happened last week. I mean, would that be too difficult?
To this person, yeah.
In some instances, yes, but of course, I'm only looking at this very quickly.
We all want you to win.
And of course you do. And
so
we want you to.
I want this person, when he does answer, I want him to say, he was spot on A, B, C, D, E.
Well, with the small information that I've got and the bullet points that
you say you do it on date of birth?
I do date of birth, but I sit with people and I do use tarot cards.
But that's a mind game. That's a mind game. When you actually sit with somebody.
I work in Liverpool and you cannot.
They're all mind games.
No. That is like saying male and female. When I actually said the people that are suckered in are gullible to this are females.
No. I think that's very, very
No, sorry.
He said the magic word to me. He said Liverpool, so I'm on his side now. As soon as he said Liverpool,
what he's just said there,
I'm with him.
he's saying what I'm trying to say, and you're all going no.
No, but
he said
that's
they're all
because
from Liverpool.
because they're on his side because they've got the same agenda.
We're still churning out just general characters.
It's rich, isn't it? Does it describe you?
Okay, well, possibly.
But it did describe Peter and Tony as well.
Yeah, I think you probably described them more than me.
Well, I think a lot of you was in there. And I think especially from the point of view of the way that you look intensely at
He
things.
said, one thing I picked up on, which I found quite relevant, and we raised our eyebrows together, me and you, didn't we? He said he wouldn't worry about the loss of his brother.
Right.
Would you?
Would I worry?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I would.
Oh,
Have you got a brother?
No.
You must be an Everton supporter. Oh, you are? Oh, well, that's made me feel so much better. Oh, is it dangerous, all this stuff?
I don't think so, no.
You don't?
No, not at all. I go to psychics and I've actually phoned them up as well. I think it's more, I'm intrigued by it all.
Don't they ever tell you things that worry you?
Yeah.
Oh, so it could be dangerous then?
It could be, but, you know, you go there.
Has it been dangerous for you, or worrying?
I worry about her a lot, you know, because she comes home to some of these psychics, and on one occasion they did say that she was going to have some bad news come to her about her mother. You know, and at the time she wasn't in hospital, but it got her so worked up, you know, that there's
That
too
she
many
told me that I see
it.
your mum lying on a hospital bed.
And you don't think that's dangerous?
And
That's really definitely.
Well, I think it depends on your state, your frame of mind, and how strong you are in your mind.
Well, she's just telling you were worried about this.
I was worried about
Well,
it.
that's dangerous.
Well, definitely.
And I don't think
she obviously, I think she turns to psychics for some sort of condolence, some sort of like someone
comfort.
to hear, basically, yeah. And I don't see why she can't come to us as friends. You know, come to me, sit to me. I suppose it's the distance. I live in London, she lives in Crawley, she's on her own in Crawley, so when she's upset, she turns to these psychics for a bit more confidence in her to get her moving in her life.
And basically all she wants is good news, is that right?
That's what it is.
You want good news,
yeah,
you know, you want to feel good about yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so what happens then is when you get the bad news, you go into
I know,
panic.
because you've got to take the bad.
No,
as
but
well
let's
as
just
the
say,
good.
can I just say, if you was say you were 65, 70 and suffering with heart, and that happened, maybe it wasn't her mum.
Hang on a minute.
But so that's what I'm saying. It could be dangerous. That person could go home on her own and have no one to talk to.
Do you realise how dangerous you can be?
I think it's a question of responsibility on both sides.
Okay.
I think people come to psychics because they are looking for guidance.
Where are you from?
Liverpool.
Oh.
But I don't live there now, I live in North Wales.
I dare to say they're all con artists in Liverpool. Dare I? There's another one.
Not really, no.
Go on.
As a practicing and professional psychic, I will tell people bad news. I think if you do it for a living, you
will tell them bad
I
news.
will tell them bad news. You have to be prepared and adopt the view that the person sitting in front of you is nervous anyway, or at least apprehensive. If it is really bad news, then I think the safest way, and the way I do it, is to say, I feel this is going to happen, you should look or watch for these signs. Two incidents spring to my mind.
Okay.
I had a lady come to me for a reading, and I said, I can see a health problem here, but I don't think it's going to end in death. I did it deliberately. 2 weeks after her reading, she came back to me and she said, you were partially right about the health problem, but a member of my family went out and hung themselves. Why didn't you tell me? And the answer I gave to her was quite simply this. I had a really bad feeling, but if I'd have told you 2 weeks before, it would have done nothing to make that situation easier. You would have had 2 weeks of worry. On the other hand, I did tell my wife, and I'm going back now just over 12 months, she asked me if I could see anything to do with her. Families are notorious because you know so much. And I said to her, the one thing I've got, or one of the things I've got, is your father will die at the end of January. And he got up on the 27th of January at 8 o'clock, and he died at 8:10.
Isn't this really dangerous?
Yes.
Because this sounds to me really dangerous. Because if you told me something like that, and it just is not true, you're going to be worried, you're going to be anxious, you're going to, aren't you? Don't you think this is really?
It frightens the life out of me. But I was just thinking about.
Well, no, I want to talk to on this. Simone.
I want to say something about this. A lot of people that go to see psychics are very, very vulnerable, very emotional, and some of them are not particularly stable.
Yeah.
Why the hell would you give somebody such bad news?
No, this is what I'm saying. It comes down.
You can't give bad news.
It comes down to the responsibility of the psychic to assess the person sitting in front of them. No, I'm sorry. I think
if you make a mistake and you give someone advice, will you take responsibility for it?
Listen to
if you give someone bad advice, or you give them advice at all, and it turns out to be wrong, it has a negative effect on their life, will you take responsibility for it?
As a professional psychic, I feel I have to. Yes.
You would do. So if they lost money or help, you would compensate them for it. You'd feel that badly.
I wouldn't compensate them, because people, at the end of the day, I always begin my sessions by saying the one thing I cannot do, and I record all my sessions, which is theirs to take away. I cannot live your life for you. You have